all the viewers around the world. This is purely being an educational conference based on educating others on OET. I just directly move into the whole thing. I don't want to speak about communication, its importance among health professionals. I just want to concentrate on the Sapta Sutras, or the 7 principles or strategies for OET success, and the 5 approaches to learning OET, and 4 myths and 4 facts. I'll be putting it in very brief. To get through OET, I've been telling my students consistently, we need to be competent in 7 areas of language. The linguistic competency in or 7 areas or 7 principles or 7 strategies. The first one is, we call it synonyms, or the synonymous language and paraphrasing. To know what does it mean, synonyms. For example, you can take a word called kill and you can substitute that word with assassination, murder, slaughter, kill, or execution. All this means same, but in different contexts, you have to use different words. So, and also synonymous and paraphrasing, using different words to express the same meaning or same sentence. So that's the first principle, and I'm not going to elaborate it more. As you come across, you will be enlightened on that. Second is comparison and contrast. One should be competent in the language used for comparison and contrast, when 2 things are compared and contrasted. The third one is scale, the most important thing, where all the competitive exams like OET, IELTS, TOEFL, everybody in their reading, listening have an issue with that. The scale is something like, when you say boiled is not hot water, boiled water is not hot water is not warm water is not cold water. So the scale, boiled, hot, warm, cold, or when you say all of them, is not most of them. Most of them doesn't mean majority of them. Majority of them doesn't mean many of them. Many of them doesn't mean a few of them. A few of them doesn't mean few of them. So this is called a scale. All, most, majority, many, a few, few. So this entirely, they have different meanings. So it looks same. A majority of them doesn't mean many of them. Many of them can be anything more than one. Majority means it should be majority more than at least 50%. So those types of language, scale expressions in language is a very important aspect to crack OET successfully. And also the fourth one is modal verbs. And this is the common mistake everybody makes. Modal verbs, for example, you may follow the traffic rules is not correct. You should follow the traffic rules is not correct. You must follow the traffic rules. Should is suggestive or advisory, whereas must is mandatory. So if you say you must follow traffic rules, that is the right thing. If you say you should follow the traffic rules, it's like you have, it's a suggestion. You have the freedom either to follow or not to follow. The doctor may say it's necessary, you should drink at least 3 liters of water every day. If you don't drink, they are not going to penalize you. So these language assets, the modal verbs, are very important. At the same time, the time expressions. So the 5th sutra is time expressions. We should be competent to understand the time expressions like always, sometimes, seldom, never, all these expressions. And they make only all these competencies are being assessed there. If you are competent in these things as you go through your reading, listening, speaking, and writing, you will definitely succeed in OET. The 6th one is reference. When something is referred to by a pronoun or something else, you should be able to understand that. 7th one is negative meaning. Definitely they assess you in your capacity to understand the negative meaning. For example, they might tell you in the reading text or the audio, not more than 2 attempts of cannulation is allowed. Maybe in the question statement, they will say maximum attempts allowed is 2. So not more than 2 attempts is the negative meaning. So we should be able to understand. These are the 7 principles. In short, synonyms, comparison and contrast, scale, modal verbs, time expressions, reference, and negative meaning. If someone is competent in these 7 aspects, you can not only OET, you can crack any of the competitive exams in English language. So this is the thing, or this the crux of the exam, OET exam.